Welcome to Land Grant Today. My name is Dr. Jamie Davis, and today we have the pleasure of speaking to Mr. Hakeem Holmes, graduate of the College of Agriculture and Food Sciences, the agribusiness program, and also working as an economist for the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Mr. Holmes, let's start off by clarifying exactly what is agribusiness and why did you choose to major in agribusiness when you were a student here at FAMU?
Well, basically, agribusiness is the applying business principles to the study of agriculture. So business principles like accounting, finance, economics, facilities management, management in general, marketing, things like that, and you're applying it to the study of agriculture. So that's basically ag business. And the reason I chose ag business was I grew up on a farm back in Marietta, Florida, so I had an agricultural background.
Okay.
And, my dad was a farmer, so he stressed to us really, I guess he's a futurist. He thinks in the profit, whatever you want to call it. But he was, he really stressed us at a younger age about learning the business side of agriculture, because it's not just about, being in the field, driving tractors and all that. If you focus on that, you're going to be behind the 8 ball when it comes to, being successful in this industry. So when I came to FAMU and found out I had an agribusiness program, I already knew what I wanted to do. Okay,
so that's interesting what you said. So now that you have that background, are you going back to the farm, maybe down the road,
to work
with your dad?
Most definitely. I can't lead the family business.
Okay.
He set that up for us to, for the long run. So once he
Exactly.
retires, we can go ahead and step in and take his place.
All right, so you gave us a technical definition of agribusiness, but can you give us a practical example of what it is so the average person can get a better understanding?
Okay, a practical example is, let's say, Mr. Leotis Brick from Jacob City, Florida, is investing in collard greens, growing collard greens on a 5-acre farm in Jacob City, Florida.
Okay.
Mr. Leotis is expecting a return on investment from the collard greens he plants. Okay. So that's basically an agribusiness. Any person that invests in an agricultural product or operation and expects a return on investment, that's ag business.
Okay, good. Let's transition to technology. Technology is changing how we do business across the globe. How has technology impacted your field in agribusiness?
Technology, mostly, I would say, it's not technology per se, but the record-keeping part of technology. It's just record-keeping is way more efficient these days, and it's different ways you can access records from all over the world, finding out how products are moving in Mexico, United States, Canada, Philippines, all over the country. I mean, all over the world and country. So you can pretty much tell what products are selling, what the price is going to be. You can do a lot of predictions based on what's selling, what's not selling. Okay. So just record keeping.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned different countries.
Yeah.
Recently, Florida, we had extreme cold weather, or I guess what I would call extreme cold weather. And it's still cold now, but how did that impact the agriculture in the South?
Well, in Florida, I'll just speak on Florida. It really didn't affect too much, the cold weather affect Florida farmers too much, but what really affected us was the Hurricane Irma. Right. Especially in the South Florida, Southwest Florida, citrus growers, I think, according to the Commissioner of Agriculture report, lost up to 70 to 100% of the citrus crops in Southwest Florida due to Hurricane Irma. Okay. So citrus crops, the production has dropped, like plummeted. So we got hit pretty hard by the hurricane. So, most Florida farms, they're prepared for cold weather, but you can't really prepare for a hurricane. There's nothing you can do about that.
So what does that mean for the price of orange juice, for example?
It'll probably stay more, it'll still be around the same price, but if you order, your fresh Florida orange juice, it'll probably be a little higher, but, it's a lot more importing from Central American countries, South American countries, and then you got oranges and citrus coming from Texas and California. Okay. So,
okay. Makes sense. Now, we seldom interview students after they graduate because you guys go off and do great things. So we're lucky to have you here. But can you tell us a significant lesson that you have learned or experienced from transitioning from a student to a full-time worker?
Yeah, I guess mostly when you're definitely in the field, I work in the government. So you really have to pay attention to everything you do, because everything on your computer, everything on your desk is basically, it's public record. Right. So if somebody comes in there and, hey, let me see that paper on your desk, you gotta make sure all your stuff is together. And then like the reports and stuff you do, if people wanna pull your reports and, kind of fact check you, they can do that. So you gotta have everything organized. And then when you do your reports and stuff, I know my, I call her boss lady, but supervisor,
Right.
she's talking to me one time, and she was like, yeah, when we get done with the report, I gotta make sure everything's good. I gotta take it to a senator so they can read over. And I'm thinking to myself, that's cool. I'm thinking, I said something else in my mind. I'm like, I gotta make sure everything's together because the senator, you got really government officials looking at your stuff, and they're making legislation, passing policy based on what the findings that you come up with. So,
and that's interesting. Can you talk about the pressure, knowing that your work has to be, I guess, perfect every time because it may be in front of a senator at any given time?
I mean, it's not that much pressure because I'm on a great team, and the staff around me. Yeah, I'm the youngest person there, so they're real supportive and everything. And if I need any help, they come right to me. So it's not too much pressure. But it's pressure there. But I really don't think about it. I don't think about it.
Okay, you just get the job done.
Just got to get the job done. If they say it's good, I'm good because they've been here longer than me. So.
Right. And I'm assuming they're training you, guiding you.
Oh yes, most definitely.
So even with the agribusiness background, you're still getting that support from your workplace, and that's helping you also.
Yeah, because you deal with technical stuff in school, and they teach the base level stuff.
Right.
But when you get that, you get your real knowledge when you're on the job, doing on job training and stuff. So that's where I'm getting most of my feet on the ground, per se, feet on the ground.
Right. Well, excellent. We do have to go to break, but when we return, we'll continue the conversation with Mr. Holmes. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job.
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Welcome back to Land Grant Today. My name is Dr. Jamie Davis, and today we have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Holmes, economist for the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Mr. Holmes, let's talk about your experience in the College of Agriculture and Food Science at Florida A&M University. Again, you're an agribusiness major. Can you talk about your educational journey in the college?
Well, being an agribusiness major, I took classes in the College of Agriculture and the School of Business, so I was ingrained with two great colleges on campus, and I took most of the business classes in the School of Business, so took accounting, took a lot of my economics classes, marketing, management, business law, took all that in the School of Business. In the College of Agriculture, I took also business-related classes, but it was focused more on the agricultural aspect of marketing, management, economics. And also, I took a lot of electives in the College of Agriculture, so I can get a broader understanding of the agricultural industry. So I took forestry classes, soil science classes, food science classes. I didn't take any animal science classes, but I know a lot of my peers, they took animal science classes like beef production and so on and so on.
But you had the option through electives, but you chose to take other courses.
Yes, so the agribusiness path, that course load, you're basically gonna get a minor in economics, so that's what I did. So I just, instead of taking like a beef production class, I just went ahead and got that, took 2 more classes in economics, so I got the minor.
So do you feel your educational journey in CABS and SBI, a business school, prepared you for your current employment?
Oh, most definitely. Mostly just the professionalism of being in a business environment, but definitely the classes also, there are a lot of technical classes, and a class that goes underrated is the computer class. CGS, yeah,
2060.
it's a really underrated class because once you get into definitely government now, a lot of the stuff is done on computer and using computer applications. So
valid point. Let's talk about your interactions with your professors. College of Agriculture and Food Sciences, we're a small college. So can you describe how that impacted your educational journey and experience?
Professor, you can basically just go up to your professor's office anytime. There's no long line, no long wait. You know, they might be out, but you know, they usually return your emails pretty fast, pretty quickly if you want to set up a meeting or whatever. So being that the classes and stuff were small, the professor had a personal relationship with pretty much all the students. So same thing the professor told me, he probably told the next student. So you get all the professor and student relationship is real. It's professional, but it's personal at the same time.
Right, and that's very important, extremely important when it comes to education. But let's transition to your experience outside of the classroom. You had the opportunity to work in the extension office for a couple of years. Describe that experience and how, again, it molded you and prepared you for life as a government employee.
Okay, so I worked in cooperative extension office at FAMU for 4 years. I started in October, my freshman year, fall freshman year. So my supervisors were Ms. Vonda Richardson, Ms. Renisha Harris, Ms. Rhonda Miller, and they trained me up. I started off as basically just a receptionist, just answering the phone, but you know, most people think that's boring, but you really learn about the programs and everything, answering people's questions. So I learned a lot about the cooperative extension programs, so a lot about the 4-H programs, FNET programs, small ruminant programs, small farmer, master farmers programs, community gardens, all the aspects of cooperative extension. So, you know, I guess they can tell when I kind of knew a lot about the program, so I started going on trips with them to promote our programs and whatnot. So first trip I went to a small farmers conference in Kissimmee, Florida. So did that, and then I went to Washington, D.C. with the cooperative extension program for the 125th celebration of the Second Morale Act. So got to go up there and, you know, hang around with the big lobbyists and Congress people and stuff like that. So that was a good experience. That all came with working with the cooperative extension program. Also, another plus was, you know, you always had an income, side income, being, you know, working with.
Good, good. So again, that helped and molded, prepared you for.
Yeah, most definitely. Being that, you know, one is I'm in the government, but it's agriculture too. So my transition to the Florida Department of Agriculture, a lot of stuff they talk about now, where I work now, I kind of have a background in it because I already know the program and stuff. Because like the farm to school program, that's another program that we're heavy into in the cooperative extension program.
Excellent point. Let's talk about your international experience. We have an international education office in the College of Agriculture and Food Sciences, and it's my understanding that you had the opportunity to travel abroad.
Yes, usually the international office, I think it's still headed by Miss Harriet Paul. She was over when I was there. They go on a study abroad immersion each summer. So the year I went to Costa Rica. So we did a 20-day study abroad immersion in Costa Rica. We visit 2 universities, Caté University and Earth University. And the trip was sponsored by the USDA, Foreign Ag Service, and APHIS. So basically, we went down there and learned a lot about how they prepare international farmers to sell their products to the United States by, you know, making sure that their products are on code, follow regulation and everything, so they can expand their business. We can get a lot of international products. We visited, it was actually an Oriental plant farm down there. So a lot of them, almost all the Oriental plants that you see in like hotels and stuff in South Florida came from that particular farm.
Oh, really?
So that was an interesting experience. But going to Costa Rica, it was shocking because the Earth University we went to, it was an international university. So you had students from Africa, Europe, Southeast Asia, Central America, South America, and it was all in that one little spot. So we was learning about a lot of things that they learn about because they from more tropical areas.
Right.
So a lot of big things that in Costa Rica they're into is rural tourism and agroforestry. So, you know, that we study that a lot. So we got to study with the main state students at those universities.
So you're very knowledgeable about this stuff. You know, a lot of experience with traveled abroad, cooperative extension, and just your education. So how has overall everything you experienced at FAMU, College of Agriculture and Food Sciences, how has that prepared you for life after?
Just learning how to build relationships with people from different cultures, different walks of life, different areas of agriculture. Because I know most people in agriculture, you got your big wigs in agriculture that might be a politician and whatnot. I can go conversate with them about policy and whatnot. Right. But at the same time, I can go to a regular farmer and I can help him fix his universal joint on his PTO shaft. So, I pretty much cover all areas of farming. So
it's good that you can play both sides.
Yeah.
And that's very important. We do have to go to break, but when we come back, we'll talk about Hakeem's experience as a federal or a state government worker.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that. Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Welcome back to Land Grant Today. My name is Dr. Jamie Davis, and we have Mr. Hakeem Holmes. Mr. Holmes, let's transition to your current employment. We spoke about everything that led up to this point, your education, your experiences in the College of Agriculture and Food Sciences. Let's talk where it ultimately led up. You're an economist for the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. So what exactly is your responsibility?
All right, so I kind of break down the organizational chart real quick.
Okay.
So I work for the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services for Florida. I am part of the Division of Food, Nutrition, and Wellness.
Okay.
All right, under that, I'm in the Bureau of Education and Outreach.
Okay.
Nutrition, Education, and Outreach, my bad. And I'm part of the Education and Program Innovation team. So as a
so you got a lot going on.
Yeah,
there.
it's a lot of layers to it. So basically, as an economist and part of being a part of the program innovation team, we evaluate the other programs within the division. So your emergency food programs, your national school lunch program, all those programs, we basically evaluate them.
Okay.
I do economic analysis, labor analysis on each program, economic contribution reports. And those are the reports I was talking about earlier that, your senators or your congresspeople might have to look at.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it seems like that's a lot of work. Did the program, agribusiness program, prepare you for that, or was that something that you kind of learned on the job?
The agribusiness prepared me to deal with the technical part of things.
Okay.
But I would say working with the cooperative extension program and being kind of into, what's going on in the agricultural arena, that really helped a lot too. So like I said earlier, like your national school lunch program, your farm school program, your emergency food assistance program, WIC FMP, CFSP, it's a whole bunch of acronyms.
Yes.
So I kind of knew on a low level what those were. So just having that background information, when I got there, I can kind of dive into it and learn more about it.
What about the travel component? Because you represent the whole state, a lot of these projects. Do you get to travel?
Mostly with my job, it's not too much travel. Mostly it's they send you the data. They send you what they're working on, invoices, a lot of things. Mostly we deal with a bunch of invoices, receipts, things like that. So it's not too much travel, but I do get volunteer opportunities. I can go, like next week I'm going down to the Temple State Fair to help with the outreach team. So I do get travel opportunities.
Okay. Can you give us an example, if you can, on a project that you worked on or working on?
I just started in last September. So basically I've been working on one of them ongoing projects. But excuse me for the name, but we keep on changing. But the name we have right now is basically the Economic Contribution Report for Florida, the purchase of Florida commodities.
Okay.
So basically we're doing an economic contribution report to see how much jobs, how much employment, how much value is added to the Florida economy, employment, taxes, state and federal, local also, that comes from the purchase of Florida commodities by the schools.
Okay.
So,
okay.
So once we get done, that's what I'm talking about. We're dealing with a whole bunch of invoices. We got to talk to distributors, school districts, get all that information so we can figure out, get all our numbers together so we can do the report.
Now, are your projects typically that long, or do you have some that are shorter?
Well, mostly they're long. It's not that it takes a long time to do, but the school year is 10 months, 9 months for a school year. So you got to wait for all the data to come in.
Okay.
They don't buy all the produce and everything,
right.
Produce, your beef and everything at one period of time, or the commodities. They buy it over a period of time. So usually they send their invoices and everything a month at a time. So
okay. Makes sense. What do you like best about your role?
I like that my position as an economist is kind of a new position within the division.
Okay.
So from what I was told, there's only 2 economists in the whole department of agriculture for Florida. It's me and then the chief economist, Dr. Sergio, which was one of my professors when I was at FAMU. So
okay.
It's
funny how that worked out.
Yeah, so I get a lot of freedom to do do projects in the direction I would like to go in because they've never been done before. So it's kind of that, it's freedom, but at the same time, you kind of have to set the standard on how to do things. But like I said before, if I needed help, I can go to any of my coworkers, or I can just go across the street, go to the Capitol and talk to Dr. Alvarez, and he can help me out.
Okay.
He's willing to do that all the time.
So something interesting that you said, you have the autonomy to pick your own projects?
No, I don't have the autonomy to pick my own project. I just how to get them done.
Oh, how to get them done. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Since it's kind of a new position, it's no set standard. Okay, we doing this, this, and this.
I understand.
It's kind of. I kind of got to figure out how to get to the end result. They just tell me what tell me what they need done, and all right, get it done.
Okay. So that flexibility.
Yeah, flexibility.
Okay, interesting. Where do you see yourself long term? Not necessarily with the state, just in agriculture. With your career, with a degree in agribusiness, you're serving as an economist now. Yeah. But what's the goal at the end?
Goal at the end, I want to, like I said earlier, I do want to stay with the family business and help out with the family business.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't want to put too much of my path out there, but maybe the end goal, I'll be the commissioner of agriculture in Florida one day. Maybe.
Ambitious.
Ambitious, maybe.
I love it. I love it.
Take my boss's job.
We do have to go to break, but when we return, we'll have closing words with Mr. Hakeem Holmes. Good. We had extra time, so I have to throw in a...
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Land Grant Today. My name is Dr. Jamie Davis, and we have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Hakeem Holmes, economist for the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Final words, Mr. Holmes. What advice would you give a student interested in the agriculture field?
I would say, if just coming from an agribusiness standpoint, if you want to major in agribusiness, you got to remember agriculture is a broad industry. You know, it's different aspects. So really focus on an educational standpoint, focus on your minor. Your minor in agriculture is probably, in agribusiness to say, is probably what direction you're going to go in after you graduate, because agribusiness, like business and other fields, is kind of broad.
Okay.
So you can get jobs in different industries, but your minor is probably what you want to focus on and want to get a job in. And that's basically it. Just focus on and find internship opportunities. A lot of internship opportunities in agriculture, they're paid, so you get the on-the-job training. You can pocket a little money so you can go enjoy yourself on the weekends.
All right. Well, pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate your knowledge. We wish you good luck in your career. And in the future, please consider us and come back to Land Grant Today.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Thank you.
There you have it, another show. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.